Do it anyway. You ready? Oh, you're not gonna crank it yet.
I know. I thought we were just doing.
You hear that? That's a fuel pump running. Just get ready to look for leaks. Once we plug this bitch back in, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that again. Only this time, it's hooked to the pump.
Oh, okay. So we should hear it when you hit that.
You should hear it. Oh, hear it.
It's either the quietest pump in the world or.
Pretty amazing. Gotta tell you.
Don't have a ground back here.
It's not grounded?
Yeah, remember this plug never got grounded.
Well, it's probably won't go now. Let's ground it.
Yeah. So just a quick update on the truck. So I wanted to talk about these fuel lines a little bit. I had mentioned them the other day. This is the SUR fuel lines. They make other lines too. Transmission lines, kits, and air conditioning, SURR. Look them up, Google them. I think their main headquarters is in Missouri. But these things are awesome. These are the ones I talked about. I ended up sourcing the majority of everything from Al's Automotive. They've got a couple different places in the Kansas City area. One's on the Kansas side, one's on the Missouri side. I went to the one on Kansas side. Great people. But I want to talk about these a little bit. It's really the simplest system. For those of you that have used the nylon lines before, I mean, they're big PSI lines. It's not a problem for fuel injection. So these come as a fitting. You get a couple rolls of wire. I used 5/16 for my return line and 3/8 for my main feed line, the high pressure line. So this comes as a separate fitting. You literally slide it over, and it comes with these little clamps, and you use the special clamp pliers for clamping that that end. Let me see here. Bear with me. We're gonna before I pulled the trigger on this, I should have found the pliers. So these are the pliers, and it is literally that simple. Slide the line over the end. It's a little bit of a tight fit. Sometimes it takes a little wiggle to do it, and then you use these pliers to grab the clamps, crank it down, boom, you're done. Most of these fuel fittings, you have to use those special tools to unlock the spring in them and all that. This, oh crap. That's gonna go on the blooper reel. When we pressurized that fuel pump the other day, guess it didn't bleed off. That's a good thing. But, you know, I didn't spray myself in the face, but that could have turned really ugly. So, that is awesome. I caught that on camera. So, that is it though. That literally, I push that down, that unlocks, you slide it off. That's how quickly you install these fittings and install these lines. Once you have this line made, boom, boom, snap, snap, locks on. If you need to pull it for any reason, boom, pop off, boom, pop off. I use the factory fittings for the main connection for the forward stuff. You Ford guys will recognize those fittings. That's it right there. So unfortunately, taking these off, since I had to use the factory fittings on the ends, you still have to have that tool. But that's it on this for the connections on this truck. The fuel filter uses the same connections as back here. So I have one of these that runs into my fuel filter on one side and one that runs out. Easy squeezy. This return line, the 5/16 line, is a solid line. Goes from that connection I just showed you on the engine all the way back here. This high pressure, it keeps the pressure line. It runs out of the main connection on the engine down into the frame rail. Has one of these quick connects on my filter, and then another one on the other side of the filter comes here, and boom, that's it. 2 lines in this system, easy squeezy, with a vent tube. Vent to atmosphere, as I was told. So that's it. I'm glad I caught that pressure line just going poof, and blowing up in the face. Luckily it wasn't in the face. So that's where we are. They go down there, they run down through, they catch right down in there, and I still have to tie some of them back and get everything, you know, set and in its place, but that's where it goes. Still working through the wiring spaghetti, and it is really close. Even though it doesn't look like it, it is very close. Cam and I had lunch today with Justin, and something came up about what we were, a little bit of problems we had on the last go around, and how we couldn't get the fuel pump to kick on unless we, you know, basically hot wired it. And, and we realized, I realized, because I'm the one who put the engine in and bolted everything up, there is no ground straps from the cab to the engine or the cab to the frame anywhere. So Cam did some grounding to my inner fenders. They're attached to the cab here, and they're not even tightened down. They're just finger tight. That cab is not grounded anywhere. I have a ground going from my main ground that goes down to my starter. So I got that ground, but that is it. So yeah, I'm short some grounds. So we'll get through this. We said we would. Cam assumed I had ground straps on already. And, you know, me being me, I don't. I still haven't figured out what this problem is of when I filled the power steering reservoir with fluid, it went right back down onto the floor. So I'm assuming it's that big O-ring in here, and when I slid it in, the O-ring must have hung up and didn't seal, is my guess. So I'll pop that all apart whenever I get a chance. So, but I just wanted to give an update on where we're at here. I was talking to John Pennington the other day, and we can't really see real good here, but this tie rod, you can see the sleeve right there. So he told me, and he thought he had mentioned this to me prior. I mean, we had a lot of conversation the day I picked up my beams, but he thought we had talked about this, but I don't. If we did, I don't recall. This tie rod has to have some cut off on the end. I need to go back to his text. 3/4 of an inch has to be cut off, and that sleeve has to be cut down from 4 inches to 3 inches. These are narrow track beams that I put on, the drop beams. So they give me, it's 1.5 inches narrower total on the track width of the front of this truck. So that creates some issues here, which I saw, and I was wondering why I had that issue. And after I talked to him, that's, you know, that's the fix. So I will get to that. I'll nip a little off this, this rod, and I will cut that sleeve down from 4 inches to 3 inches, and I'll be in business, ready to set the toe. So that, haven't bled brakes yet. That's still on the list. And I'm pretty sure we're at day 95, if I remember right. So this is where we're at. Thoughts on the tank? This is pretty much where the tank is going to sit. It was going to mount to the bed floor, and it is not now. It is going to mount directly to the frame. This area right here, going straight across, is where the front cross member of the bed lands. The second cross member of the bed lands right here and goes across. Third cross member right here. Fourth cross member right here. This truck will have 3 cross members on the bed. It will not have this one. I'll have some support coming along. And the bed floor, from what people will see when they look in the bed, will be higher. I'm not sure how I'm going to make it land. I've got to totally redo my thought process on this. But there will be a door on the inside of this bed to access pulling the tank, getting to the fuel pump. It'll probably have some kind of Cleco system on it. I was thinking about it. Either do a Cleco floor in this area. It may come flat up to here. It may go up, angle up, and then go. Not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but this is going to attach to the frame, and the bed floor in this area is going to be above it somewhere, and I will be able to access everything easily. So this truck isn't going to haul a lot. It'll be able to haul, you know, a bed load of stuff. It'll be able to pull my little mini camper or a little trailer, but I never plan on pulling anything big with this. That's why I got the big E350. So, and now, since plans have changed slightly, I am going to make, I have a couple different fiberglass bed covers, and I'm going to make, they're the type that go over the edge. For both of them are for short beds. So I'm going to take one of those, I'm going to cut it down and build it to lay inside right in here. So it'll be flush with the top of the bedside. I'm not a big fan of bed liners that come over the edge out here. I like the ones that sit down in. So you won't be able to see the inside of the bed. This is just a piece of plastic that's just laying in there. It's actually what might be my headliner material. So that's it. So that's the update, probably day 95-ish. I haven't checked the calendar in a couple days, but I also wanted to mention I'm shifting gears a little bit. It's either going to be plan C. The truck, the 57 was plan A, just to clarify. The 57 F100, when we planned to go on a power tour, was plan A. It needed some work to be able to hit, you know, a 3,000 mile trip. I was going to do that. Sell the 57, got to go to plan B. Plan B was the 70. Plan B is not going to make it. Plan C, I have, but we're not going to talk about it yet. So I just wanted to talk about, we're going to shift gears a little bit here. This is what we're shifting gears to. These are Cam's fenders for the Roadrunner. I should have taken a picture of Cam's car today when I was over there. You guys would have looked at that picture and said, that's what you're taking on Power Tour? You're a few pieces short. So, I have no doubt that Cam's going to make it. That's just the way he is. So in order to help him do that, I'm going to knock out these fenders. I'm going to weld up that tonight, get some of these fenders, get them hammered out a little bit. Not going to do any body work on them, just get them cleaned up. Going to epoxy prime everything black, and then I'm going to attempt to get the edges cut in the green color. This part here, all that, it doesn't even go green. That's black. So really all that goes green is the edge. Obviously it's flipped upside down. All this, the back edge will be green. I'm not even going to green these openings because Woody will end up painting those. He'll have that back masked and he'll be painting all that. So none of this stuff in here goes green. It's all black. This will go green. So it'll be that, the inner edge, and then the back edge where it meets the door. So that's what I'm going to do. So shifting gears, I got work to do. I'm out.